Okay, so I think we are going live, Michele. So let me just start recording this. Okay, so welcome, Michele. Thank you for joining me today for this Priestess chat. As you probably know yourself, I'm pretty passionate about demystifying the priestess thing. You know, we're just, in inverted commas, normal women doing our lives, running our businesses maybe, but we're just like other women. But there's a difference. It's not so much as there's difference, there's a choice. So let's start off. May I ask you to introduce yourself and tell everybody about your beautiful self?
Yes. Thank you for inviting me today, Sarah. So I'm, Michele Bentley. I used to be Michele Hooper for other people who might know me from that name when I was in a different career. Now my work is with mainly people, but sometimes animals too. And it is supporting people with vibrational healing, I suppose, via essences, crystals, sound particularly, and gathering women together in supportive groups, and celebrating and honouring the feminine, really, and the strength of women.
So what called you to work with the feminine in this way, and therefore now the priestess? Because what you just said there sounded really powerful, and I'm personally just called to ask you more. So what does that mean to you to work with the feminine, and why is it important to you? How has it changed your life?
I think for me, a lot of my past years, I was working very much from a yang or a masculine way of trying to compete and build a business. And although I wasn't in a corporate environment, I felt it was very competitive, very little support between, certainly between women, because we were all competing for the same job or role. And I think it's really when I started, I moved to Somerset, got out of London, got out of that kind of environment, and started working with nature. And that made me feel the need for balancing up. And I was very aware that my own feminine strengths had been hidden for quite a long time. And I was very much aware of this when I trained as a sacred celebrant. So we started working with nature and the elements and creating ceremony and ritual for other people in their life journeys. So that was my sort of real introduction to it. And it felt like going back to something that I used to know as a child. I was very much the one that kept, messing around in the dirt and picking up stones and feathers and feeling very connected with Mother Earth and nature. And then it disappeared for a few years. I went along a different path. So I was aware of needing a balance and reconnecting with my own feminine strength. So not trying to compete as a man, but finding my own strength, which was, equal or even stronger. So it was about balancing polarities for me, which out of all the works and trainings and learnings I've done in the last 7 years, the Priestess Process has been the one to facilitate that balance.
Wow. So am I hearing you say, with everything that you've done, because most of us have done lots of things because we love to learn, that it's kind of brought it together?
Yes, absolutely. I was aware that I had learned skills, developed skills, and they're all kind of sitting around me like a beautiful healing toolkit. But I didn't know quite what to do with them. And I was in the middle thinking, now what? Do I learn more skills? Do I keep doing more courses? So I wasn't sure why I was drawn to the Priestess Process. I know some people have had callings for a long time. Mine was very sudden. And I did a little bit of research, of course, and some courses just didn't resonate with me for various reasons. And this one did. It did help that I knew you, which gave me trust, because I knew your ethics and the way you worked, and I was comfortable with that and drawn to that. So that helped. But what I've found so far, I'm only 3/4 of the way through, maybe 2/3, 3/4 of the way through. So there's more to do, but my vision of it is, if you think of a maypole, So there's a tree in the middle, but instead of just being a solid branch, it's hollow, like with shamanic work with the hollow bone. So that's how I'm feeling in the priestess process. I'm the sort of the tree in the middle of the maple, and all the beautiful colored ribbons are all the different ways I can work with people, and they can wrap around in all different ways and support people. But the knowledge, the healing comes through the middle, through me.
You remain the same.
Exactly.
Kind of like
exactly. Instead of darting and running off in millions of directions and getting confused and overwhelmed, I feel like I've kind of found an inner strength that's brought everything together. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, it does to me, and I think to other people who have done the process, because it's something similar that we hear, that because it's working with source energies, and if you like, invisible energies, it's not a tangible thing like it was that bottle or that oil or something. It's more otherworldly than that. But one of the things that I haven't done an awful lot of research, as it happens, on other priestess courses, as I know there are quite a few of them nowadays, which is good. I was drawn to the word, to the energetics of it. What I particularly liked about the priestess process that we are talking about, the one that I facilitate through my own energy now, when I first heard it being spoken about, which was online, the lady talking about it was talking about priestesses with money. And I was, my ears kind of like went, priestess with money? I need to meet this woman, because she was, the more good we do, the more we have, the more we can help others. So it was very much, it had a practical element as well.
Yes.
It's not just about let's connect to source and talk to all the goddesses. It was like, let's bring it down onto this earth and be the modern day priestess. So I'm not quite sure why I shared that with you now, but it seems to make sense to you.
Yeah, it does. And yes, all the sort of the lovely woo side, but you know what I mean, that side is wonderful. And I particularly do like dressing up in a bit of a flower crown now and then in the old style, and doing a ceremony, in person. But from a practical point of view, yes, priestesses with money, absolutely. Like you, I feel passionate that people who are doing healing, and they deserve an equal exchange of energy, equal to their worth. And I, like many people, have struggled to ask for money, and therefore have struggled to do this work and had to take other jobs, etc. So this has given me confidence. It's brought together all the bits that were a bit flaky. I know what I'm here to do and what I'm doing. So from a practical point of view, I feel like I can be a modern day priestess with a business, healing people and being able to support myself and my loved ones. And that's surely how it always was in the olden days. Priestesses, they did it, they worked. It was an honorable way of earning a living. And why not today as well?
It's one of the paradigms I think we're here to change, aren't we? And it does seem to be one of the keys is to own and claim this energy that's coming through us. Yeah. Well, I've certainly seen shifts in you, Michele, because I know you reasonably well quite well actually, sorry, we just getting my beverages served, just as fitting as for a priestess while she's doing it. Yeah, so I've known you for several years through your work with the flower essences, but I am seeing a different you now.
I think another thing that, a lot of people talk about some of the really powerful parts of this particular priestess process, which are working with the elements and working with shamanic astrology, and these are all amazing, powerful things. For me, the working with balancing the masculine and the feminine has been incredible, and learning about my own masculine and feminine. So it isn't about just all about we are learning and connecting with our feminine, but it's not just about that. It's about combining the two and finding those strengths within yourself as well as outside yourself. but also looking at the shadow side and accepting it. That's the thing. We can all do some shadow work and it's hard, but finding the bits of you that you're not so proud of, working with them and loving them and knowing they're needed too. It's all part. It's kind of combining all the lost bits of you, bringing them all together in a safe place.
Very well expressed, yeah. And it's often, my experience has been, thank you, that the shadow parts of us, which are the parts that we've over the eons and in this lifetime reached out to get support, to heal, whatever, that's the treasure, that's the gold. Because that's often what we offer back out.
Absolutely. And I mean, most people know a little bit about their own astrology sun sign. I knew very little about the other bits. And even just studying and learning that my moon was in Scorpio, it changed and made me understand
There's an
the darker depths. But also then the talents that brings too, not just, oh dear, that can be a bit heavy. But that highlights and shows, that's why I'm good at this type of work. So it's kind of like an amazing, this journey so far has been an amazing spiritual top-class university where you can kind of gather everything together, but it's not a pressured place where what I didn't want when I joined up was something else where I had to do tons of homework and hand in things. I just didn't have any more time to do that. And I've been doing a lot of that for the last few years. But to be able to meet weekly, it does feel like we're an actual group meeting, and we're from all around the world, our group, which is incredible. So it just feels so far reaching, gathering women's strengths and knowledge and understanding from around the world. And we all look forward to it so much.
Yes. And so do I.
Yeah. So it's a bit, I'd be very sad when it ends.
I remember that feeling myself, which is why we go on to share it so that we get to do it still. I think that's part of why I do it anyway.
I think I just wanted to say also that because for anybody who maybe like me didn't even know what a priestess, modern day priestess was at all, and maybe it triggers a little bit. I came from a very religious background as a child, Catholic and very indoctrinated. And so the word priestess originally was a bit uncomfortable for me. And it took a little bit of, realizing and understanding and learning a bit more about where it comes from in this lineage. And it's been absolutely making sense to me, finding out and understanding all the bits that were kind of concealed or just kept quiet for so many years and allowing. And I really feel it from just talking to women I know and I work with. It just feeling this beautiful energy and the confidence in women to step up and say, I can do this.
You can. Yes, we can. Yeah, thank you, Michele. It's lovely to hear your experience of the priestess process. Most of all for me, and I hope I know it will come across to others, is to feel that confidence, because it's palpable, it's coming off of you, to feel your passion. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I see you expressing now. It was already there, but it's kind of like, because you have more sense of what the passion is, the frequency of it, that you can vocalize it and share it.
Absolutely right. Yes, it's not suddenly putting things there that were never there lurking underneath. It's revealing, it's illuminating. And I forgot what I was going to say. I'm a priestess with a bad memory these days.
Well, I think me too. So that's good. I think that what we're talking about here, it is also an invitation to be intuitive, isn't it? Is to drop out of our heads and not store too many little squirrel holes of things, and just be in the moment and be in the flow and trust the conversation.
Absolutely. And I don't know if it came where it came from. I just had a thought I wanted to share that one thing that's sort of palpable and I'm aware of since I've been doing it is my own energy field feels expansive and magnetic, and the way that I can feel that this is happening is how different, how people that I knew before and since react to me slightly differently, and they're more drawn. And that's with animals too, because my other day job, muggle job, you know, I'm up to my arms in cleaning dogs' bottoms. You know, I'm a very practical, down to earth person too. That's my other side of my other job. So I don't just float about going, oh, I'm a priestess. It's, yeah, you're right. It's practical modern women who can also enhance and tap into this amazing
And don't the animals need the priestesses too, you know? So
absolutely. Well, they're certainly more chill than they used to be around me. Yeah.
Interesting, yeah. And one of the things that I love, and this is just a kind of a personal thing, you know, if I was looking for a dog groom, I don't actually have dogs, but if I was, and I knew one was a priestess, I'd be like, I'm going to her, you know, or whatever. Or what if I was, you know, whatever I was looking for.
Yeah, that's, I think with the process with this, while we're doing the weekly gatherings and meeting, it's like, because we can always raise our energy and sit and meditate, and you know, we can do all of this on our own, anyone can, but it's like a really supercharged top up every week, so we're constantly really refilling and connecting, and our energy is just like that's the description. I don't know the word, but yeah, so it's yeah, it's like when you put really, really cool fuel in your car on a regular basis.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, and so needed, always so needed, but particularly in a world where we've all got tired, there's disillusionment and all the stuff around. So being connected to the truth and to source is kind of invaluable, really. Bit of a lifesaver.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much, Michele, for chatting with me. Is that you shared a whole load of beautiful things, so loads of really, it kind of tops me up as well to kind of be in these energies and to hear in different words how people experience this. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we say goodbye?
I wrote down a few notes in case I had a brain thing. I think just because somebody asked me, what, you know, what is the priest? Why are you doing? What is a priestess thing? And I liked something I read, which is a priestess is a creatrix, mother to ourselves, the planet, nature, plant kingdom, animals. We don't birth just babies, we birth ideas, and that's a wonderful way of looking at it, I think.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. It's again unveiling the truth that's been so hidden. Of course, it's wonderful to birth babies, but the female is here to birth so much more.
Yeah, and doing this work has given me the confidence to do it.
Yeah,
not just imagine it and think about it. I'm actually now manifesting things that I couldn't do before.
Absolutely, you are. Yeah. So yeah, a modern day priestess absolutely births her business, or you know, births a new lifestyle for herself and her family. It's part of it. Well, that's a very beautiful way to end. Thank you so much. And I wish you, I can't wait to see how the final part of the priestess process kind of like integrates this for you more. And yeah, thank you, Michele, and wishing you very, very well for your onward journey.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.